I'm Fedora, and welcome one and all to Oh the Horror's 3rd year anniversary!
Happy birthday!
Well, what do I think of this last year? Well, we had some good and some bad moments. I launched Pillow Pasta, but at the same time I also released an army of demons that were trapped inside a dragon statue that have gone on to kill a few dozen people. My bad. We hit 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube cheapened the celebration with their broken copyright system. Oh, and speaking of my 1,000 subscriber Let's Watch, tonight's movie is one of the options that were from it, and it's probably a good thing it wasn't picked in the end. No, not because it's a bad movie, but because it turns out it's a true-to-life, actual documentary of a failed paranormal investigation TV show. In fact, recently, I just sort of stumbled across a whole bunch of those in my attic. So, as we're going through this movie, we'll be talking about a few others that I just happened to find, and maybe we'll get a little bit more insight. So, to wave goodbye to this year, let's talk about 2004's Haunted House.
So this movie starts at a Hogwarts college fraternity house. Well, the music certainly seems to think I should find this couple of brown shapes scary. Oh shit, Jesus is coming. Okay, everybody look busy. Oh, it's a train line in the dark. Mystery solved?
Okay, so let's get started.
You're 2 minutes late, dude.
So the stranger seated next to me was majorly bummed out, and I finally said something. I said, "Hey, mister, obviously you've got something heavy in your mind."
I do, young man. I just can't figure out what PowerPoint presentation font to use for my opening title sequence.
Oh boy, here comes the bullshit.
Hey, this particular show pitch is getting a little too mouthy for my tastes. Oh, I'm sorry, I get it now. It's being narrated. So it seems back in the day, this college fraternity here had a pledge who was afraid of ghosts.
I want you to be on the lookout for a man who looks like this.
A man?
That's totally gay, bro.
Take a look at the date first.
June 21st, 1888.
It says that the railroad tried to take his house and he wouldn't move out. He put up a fight. They killed him. All the marshals that went in there after him, they all died a mysterious death days later.
You having trouble with those lines, champ? By the way, for a house that's been abandoned for 200 years, it looks pretty well maintained. I guess the ghost pops out to do a little general repairs every now and then. Hell, he's probably got a loyalty discount at the local Bunnings. So, basic pledge bullshit. Go upstairs in the haunted house for a while and then you can join our circle jerk. Unfortunately, he doesn't get inside the real house though, just this photograph of it.
Clearly the vibe I'm getting here is not that they didn't have access to a real 1800s mansion they could use for their movie, but that it was so dangerous and so actually haunted that even this suburban house was just that dangerous. I commend them.
15 minutes after he goes in, the frat boys head over to the house that looks nothing like the earlier one, but the pledge doesn't respond to any of their calls. Oh, by the way, thank God for this narrator, or I would be so lost at this point.
Finally, they went in after him.
They shined their flashlights around the room. They walked a little bit. Barry Watson out of Sorority Boys hears something.
I hear something.
Sounds a bit like 20 or so 40-year-olds walking up a staircase and a movie still trying to pass that off as scary and isolated.
And what did become of the pledge?
Oh my god, the ghost stole his hat!
No, I'm not going to mention the hair colour, because from the age casting in horror movies that I've seen, I'm not entirely sure that isn't natural.
Well, this pitch is dragging on for a while. What do you say we take a small break and take a look at one of the smaller ones I found?
Hello and welcome to Paracasual, the talk show with the dark and demonic come on to tell their stories. Today we have a very special guest star, all the way from the hit YouTube series Bob Show. Allow me to introduce to you, The Box. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us today, The Box. I hear ya. So, let me ask the question that I'm sure is on everyone's mind. What is Bob's show really like? Just do the bit, okay? I don't care if you don't want to do it. You need to do this for Fedora. He's helped us out a lot of... Hey, don't take that tone with me. Alright, fine, but you don't have to say that. Wait, oh, okay, you are out of line. I'm sorry, hang on.
Well, at least the dialogue is more tolerable.
I was the guy who decided to send him into the house that night.
So, do you tell everybody you meet this story, or just randoms on the train? Well, my family is sick to death of hearing it, so I travel a lot. Alright, enough with the flashbacks. Let's get to the actual story.
Ah! Jesus, man, you scared the shit out of me.
That's exactly how I heard it, except I left out one grisly detail.
Oh, how come? I want the gore, not me.
Well, I want to see who's talking, but we don't all get what we want now, do we? So the idea here is that the two people off camera are filmmakers that are planning to check out a local haunted house and are roping these 4 college students along because Lance Hendrickson's throwing an MMO party. I don't fucking know.
Oh, speaking of filmmakers, where did this movie come from again? Hang on a second, let me practice my surprised face.
And in light of that, this is probably a pretty dumb question.
Do we get paid for this?
Paid? Oh wait, you're serious?
So they all head to that house from the opening and, hang on, something's missing from this shot. Excellent. And here's a tip. When you have to return the camera you borrowed to your local multimedia center and you didn't get all your exterior shots, just reuse all the ones you shot earlier. Saves a lot of time. I'm giving a lot of grief to the visual quality of this pitch. Let's take some time to view our potential stars a little instead. Maybe they'll be the saving grace.
Oh, we need one couple here on camera to get their reactions.
Reactions to what?
To anything. Noise to nothing.
Exciting!
We want the ability to intercut the two scenes, inside the house
Say
and here.
if somebody in the house screams, we can show the scream and show what caused it, but also get the reaction. Danny and I are the filmmakers. You 4 are the actors.
Well, while they're yapping on, let's take a look at one of the smaller pictures again.
In the dark of the night, I searched for the mindless wretches of society.
6 feet under.
Shut up, I'm a ghost hunter.
You're a wannabe.
And I found the best way to hunt ghosts. To see who they were, what they are now.
Dead.
Is to become one.
Well, we don't have any money for special effects, so your blood it is.
Holy shit, did that guy actually die?
The fuck? Are we still sitting outside the house?
Hey, you want to see mine too?
Sure. Hey, don't do that.
Why not? She did it.
Yeah, but she wasn't thinking.
Nudity bump.
A what?
A nudity bump. That's when the actress wants more money before she'll disrobe. All right, Amber. We'll up you 50%.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have we spent 5 whole minutes negotiating the condition of your girlfriend's tit flash? If we were watching a Friday the 13th, we would have had 7 of them by now, plus 5 decapitations and a Radio Shack commercial.
These 3D printers are cool, right?
Oh, thank God the scene's changed.
Okay, I'm gonna flip a coin. Somebody call it.
Yep, it says fast forward.
So the jock and the skank are the first to enter the house.
Oh my god, this place.
I know, and I thought the outside was scary.
I know, right? Just look at that terrifying ceiling light. They stumble around aimlessly for a while before Jock opens this door and whoa, jeez. So this is how the ghost sees? In green filter vision? So to it, everything looks like it's being filmed from Hellbreeder? Whew, poor bastard. No wonder he wants to kill them all. While nothing's going on, so pretty much everything that's happened thus far, can I ask what they're doing right now? I mean, aren't they supposed to be filming this? Isn't that the whole point of being here, to make a movie? Hold your horses, guys. I think they found something cool.
What's that over there?
It appears to be a rock.
A rock? A real one? Oh, definitely ghosts. Also, Illuminati and Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Cut.
Normally you cut that out in the editing phase, guys. Oh wait, so a camera guy did follow them in? Only we clearly saw they didn't, but whatever. I guess if rocks exist in this universe, teleporting movie makers aren't that hard to believe.
You know, I mean, we wanted an animal in the front yard. I mean, that was a frog. I mean, frogs aren't scary.
Well, clearly you haven't seen the actor's reaction to the movie Frogs. Although saying that, this poster has more frogs in it than that movie does.
And now we have actual prop maintenance going on in movie. Great, just great. Next scene! Jock and Skank continue searching rooms, with Big Oggle's ghost continuing to watch their still frames, until they discover a way to the attic, and meanwhile we get cuts of these two shits talking about whether or not her parents like him.
Oh, and speaking of cutting away to something unimportant...
In regards to ghost hunting, I've done a little bit of that. Texas is so crazy, I gotta tell you, that there's just these abandoned buildings, homes, just creepy looking structures, and I bet they're all haunted. I mean, look at this place. I was so curious, though, I had to go inside. Just kind of felt this cold wind on the back of my neck, like maybe there was some sort of phantom inside. Huh. Even his old sister out in the car, could have been the last time she ever saw me. But luckily, I got out alive.
That old bat is still alive?
God, the cuts in this thing. It's almost like they're trying to be anticlimactic.
Boring.
Maybe we'll get lucky and that moon will crossfade into the planet and end this boring as hell bullshit. Well, I guess there was nothing in the attic because they're just coming back downstairs. So, and hold on to your butts, ladies and gentlemen. That whole build-up was also completely pointless. Oh shit, is something finally happening?
You just need to relax, I think.
Of course not. What was I thinking? Oh,
Okay. Here's the basement. Yeah, okay. We can only take one of you down at a time, okay?
Why?
Well, because it's just scarier that way.
How? What I think he meant to say was, we can pad out the movie more this way. So they take Jock down into the shaky cam cellar, and maybe, finally, 45 minutes in, we'll actually see something ghostly.
Stan, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Looks like you're making something far more productive over there than this movie, buddy. What's that? A threatening message written in the dirt? Screw it, I'll take it. They search around a bit more and find a dead lizard, which is good news because I doubt these arse-hats could afford any catering. And then, big shock! Nothing happens, and they come back up and decide to go up to the attic again?
Oh, this thing has more padding in it than Katy Perry's bra! Speaking of padding...
Welcome to Datbusters, the all-new show that we're doing over here on Shady Corner, hunting ghosts in sticky situations. I'm your host, Shades, and today we've headed out to the suburb of Beachboro, which is probably the stickiest of all the suburbs here in WA, where we got a tip-off from my good friend Ryan Newitt, but guess he didn't knew it that he had ghosts. He's recording.
Oh, okay, there's a ghost.
So Ryan Newitt said the ghost was last seen here, at this abandoned park. Not many kids come down here anymore due to the dumping of nuclear waste. As you can see here, there is a bit of sticky residue. Now if we just get the... That's f***ing semen! Oh, that's semen!
That's my semen.
And I am never eating mayonnaise again.
Holy shit, was that a moth? Did you guys see that? That was a moth. Wasn't that exciting? After being outside, doing nothing and talking about nothing the entire movie, Prep and Prude are now looking for the car keys so they can leave and go get the police, presumably to arrest Conrad John for stealing an hour and a half of our lives. Meanwhile, Jock and Skank reach the attic where they hear a strange thudding sound.
It's coming from in there.
Oh, sorry, am I distracting you?
Holy shit, they found a guy that died of old age. I guess that was the only other critic that dared review this movie and waited for something to happen. Also, another shock, Prep and Prude found the chart the filmmakers were using to set up all their fake scare effects. And for some reason they get angry about this, as if they didn't expect the guys who said they were shooting a scary movie to use props. I also don't get what that white hair thing is about yet. Maybe he stared too long at the deadlights. Everyone makes a break for the exit, and hey guys, you've been debating the whole movie about whether or not to come to the rescue, so now's your chance.
I'm not going down there.
Maybe they need help.
Then let's call the sheriff and let the sheriff help them.
What an asshole.
The ghost locks the door on them, and Skank starts screaming after seeing some off-screen man who Jock chases after, and everyone manages to get out of the house, despite, as I just said, the door being locked. And just when you think the showdown is coming... But then Jock starts asking one of the filmmakers some strange questions.
Why'd you stop back there? Better yet, how'd you beat me back here?
Wait a second. What are you talking about?
But I saw you. I talked with you.
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look at that.
Mark, come on, we gotta go. There's a man upstairs.
Holy shit. Off-screen ghost confirmed?
Seriously, guys, you couldn't just shoot a bit of him standing in the corner or something? For God's sake.
So they all finally leave, except for Prep and Prude, who decide to stick around a while longer. Prude spots a man in the window, meaning 5 minutes from the end and we finally sorta see the ghost.
There's a man in the window! Just come down here!
Amber, if you saw someone...
Now!
If you saw someone, it was them. Don't you realize that?
Or it could just be some crazy homeless man with a knife, you fucking dope. Wisely, she ditches his ass, and if you think we're actually gonna see the ghost get him, what are you, crazy?
The next day, the dead bodies of Carl and Stan were found in the house.
So wait, who's narrating this part? And so, after the police arrive to start and then immediately abandon the case, this pathetic movie comes to an end with an epilogue. Yeah, because I was really concerned about these one-dimensional douchebags.
Authorities who were summoned forced an entry and found her with scratches on her face, dead. Days later...
Oh! God, I don't care! And that was Haunted House.
Holy shit, was this movie boring. I mean, I didn't expect much from something as generically titled as Haunted House. Maybe a cheap scare and a couple of laughs, but oh boy. Well, the acting was among the worst I've ever seen on this show. The sets were repetitive, the lighting was awful, there was no direction, and the actors, quote-unquote, just stumbled around aimlessly all over the place. The pacing was agonizingly slow and full of cuts to these dickheads talking about nothing. They couldn't even chill out for a cheap jump scare or even one on-screen death. Yeah, okay, this was a student film on a less than shoestring budget, but it was still distributed and paid for, meaning it's held up to a certain standard, and God, words fail to describe how much it fails on that level.
And that's all we have time for tonight. So, a huge thanks to everybody who has gotten me to this point. I mean, 3 years, that is a phenomenally long time. And I just want to thank everyone for all their support and their comments. And you people keep me going. And that's all I really have to say. So, I'm Fedora. This is the Horror. Save a screen for me. And we'll definitely see you next time.
I just moved in my new house today. Moving was hard, but I got squared away. Bells started ringing and chains read aloud. lived in a haunted house. Still I made up my mind to stay. Nothing was